Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, November 9th. The time is 4:18 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 12 degrees Celsius. And I am here in Midtown, and that's a look north towards Eglinton Station. And that's where you would find the intersection of Yonge and Eglinton. And just to the south here is Davisville subway station. That's also where the TTC headquarters are. Yeah, for this one, I'm going to head on out to Yonge Street, and then I'm going to walk south down to the Beltline Trail, and from there I'll walk east along part of the Beltline Trail over to Mount Pleasant, and then we'll take a walk north up through Mount Pleasant Village, back up, eventually making my way towards the Yonge and Eglinton area. So this is essentially recreating a walk I did back in October of 2020. Although I started that one at 5 p.m. and it was about 18 degrees Celsius on that particular day. And I started that one a block south of here on Chaplin Crescent. This one started on Imperial Street. And there's a look north again. So this is south down the west side of Yonge Street. And this used to be the old Wallace Gastropub. Now it is Nevezad. It looks to be a Middle Eastern restaurant. And that walk I recorded 2 years ago was before the clocks went back an hour. So that was essentially an hour and a half after this one. We'll be losing daylight by the time I finish recording. And this is Chaplin Crescent just up ahead on the right, and on the left is Davisville Avenue. I'll just cross over here to the east side of Yonge. There's an interesting new addition to the neighborhood. The Burrito Boys has popped up. And a look to the west directly into the sun. There's the TTC headquarters across the street. And the section of the Beltline Trail I'm going to cover, I actually live streamed across yesterday on the e-bike. I realized I hadn't recorded part of the Beltline Trail this fall. That's something I usually do every fall. That is Balliol Street. Overpass. It says Gardner Beltline Trail on it as a northbound subway train rolls into the station. So I've got a few options to get up to the trail. I could go left here at Merton and then make a right on the other side of this condo, or I could go straight here on Yonge and head up a staircase. And I think that's the option I will take, and then I'll head up to this overpass here. We'll get a good look at Yonge Street from it. And this Beltline Trail where I'm heading sits on what used to be an old commuter rail line. It's also right next door to Mount Pleasant Cemetery. These iron horses were first installed in '94 as part of a temporary sculpture, and they were brought back in 2018. There's a look north up Yonge Street. You can actually see some towers at Yonge and Shepherd way off in the distance. And to the south of here, we'll take you towards Yonge and St. Clair with the tower that's part of Yorkville. That's the Four Seasons way off in the distance. So let's head east along the trail here over to Mount Pleasant. So this is where Yonge Station was located. There's a look into Mount Pleasant Cemetery. And this opened back in the 1800s. I think 1876. And there's been over 168,000 people laid to rest there. It's actually been designated a National Historic Site. Will this work? And the bike share rack is all empty. So on the right, we've got Mount Pleasant Cemetery and some towers from Merton Street on the left. And what I think are the last of the fall colors straight ahead. Looks even more bare than it was yesterday. I guess that's a pretty obvious statement. What I should say is it looks noticeably more bare than it did yesterday. You know, I haven't done too many nature-themed videos lately. But as winter rolls in, I think I'll do a few and explore some of the ravines in the city. Well, those sounds are taken away from what is probably the nicest part of this walk so far. It's really unavoidable hearing construction sounds in the city. And Mount Pleasant Road is just up ahead here. So in a few minutes, we'll be getting off the trail and heading north up to Eglinton. And then I'll be making my way over to a Shoppers Drug Mart, of all places. That guy's getting a workout. And I could pop out here onto Merton Street. But if I go a little further, there'll be a staircase that I can take up to Mount Pleasant. And one idea that I'm toying with, I know my videos are almost always narrated, is doing some walking videos recorded without my narration in stereo. So the left and right channels will be distinctly different. What is this? A book. Well, there seems to be private information in there. I will just leave that. I opened it up. Saw a name and phone number. There's Mount Pleasant ahead. So that's one of 3 segments of the Beltline Trail. And that trail I just took was established back in '89. So for about 100 years it sat unutilized. And this is Mount Pleasant Road. So I'm going to walk north through an area known as Mount Pleasant Village. And whenever I rent a car, that is often where I top it up with gas before I return it at that Esso. They're waiting for the 74 bus. Let's see, it is 20 minutes till sundown. This next street will be Davisville Avenue. And here comes the 74 Mount Pleasant bus. Well, there goes one northbound. That's the 74A. And that'll be going not to Davisville Station, but rather St. Clair Station. The 11 baby bus. And over on the corner there is June Rollins Park. And she was elected mayor back in '91. And she was defeated by Barbara Hall in '94. And this is always a quieter retail stretch. Pretty similar to Bayview Leaside, which is just off to the east of here. And you can get there by following Millwood Road here. Thanks for that sign. This is Mount Pleasant Village. And these businesses are part of the Mount Pleasant Village Business Improvement Area. And that was only established back in 2008. And there's over 200 different shops and services along this stretch of Mount Pleasant. And it's surrounded mostly by low-density single-family homes. There's a place I've been meaning to try out, the Belsize Public House. I just haven't got around to it yet. And coming up on the right is the old Regent movie theater. And that dates back to the 1920s. I think they screened mostly independent and foreign movies. Although it does not appear to be operational at all. I imagine there's plans to gut it and have a condo stick out of the top. There's a Thai and vegan restaurant. The Toronto Camera Club. That's curious. And this is Manor Road. Good job, taxi driver. So this is going to take us up towards Eglinton Avenue. And from there I'll head west, maybe over to Roehampton. I'll make my way over to Shoppers Drug Mart. You can see all the towers around Yonge and Eglinton looming off in the distance in that direction. It's amazing what rapid transit will do for the intensification of an area. And here is an old theater turned into the father's house. Okay. And we've made it to Sudan Avenue. Here's a chronic Toronto problem. Entering intersections before you can clear them. There is what looks like a fancy restaurant just above that Shoppers. That's not the Shoppers I'm going to. I just need to buy some bananas. And it saves me the hassle of having to go into a supermarket. Bolin Thai cuisine. There's a few Thai spots on this stretch I'm gonna have to come check out. I did a video last year entitled Walking Condo Hell, and that was about this area. I think maybe an update to that video is overdue. There's the Granite Brewery on the right. And they're constructing an underground LRT line that should be open this season. And they've reconfigured this intersection, because I was thinking I would be crossing on this side the last time I was through here. That was the side to cross on. There's no left and right turns allowed here. And that right there is the old Roehampton Hotel. which is still temporarily closed. I don't know if it'll ever reopen, but it's currently functioning as a shelter. And this is the first time in years I've been able to walk on this side of the sidewalk. Eglinton Public School. I'm tempted to just pick up a sub. There's Eglinton Public School. And kids are back in school. They had Monday off. But the disaster was averted as the province reneged or agreed to repeal a rather gross Bill 28, which employed the notwithstanding clause. Although there still might be a strike to come. Apparently, the education support workers rejected the first offer that they got from the province. And there is my local Popeyes. And I must say, I kind of prefer the Popeyes on Danforth Avenue. They take a little longer to make it, but I think the results kind of speak for themselves. And this is Roehampton. So I'm going to go north here. Sorry, this is Redpath. I'm going to go north here up to Roehampton. And unlike the west side of Yonge in this area, which has retained most of its single-family homes, the east side of Yonge has turned into condo central. It's always had a lot of purpose-built rentals on this side. That's probably what the developers use to get approval for the increased density. So this is Roehampton, which as of last year was converted into an eastbound one-way street. Just to the north of here is Broadway running parallel. And that was converted into a westbound one-way street. And there is a drastic difference in rental prices between the condos and these older buildings. And what's ironic is I think the older buildings are the safer bet if you're looking to rent. For less money, you often get a lot more square feet. And since they were built prior to 2018, you do have your rent increases protected, I think, at 2.5% each year. Although landlords have found clever ways around that, such as what they call lipstick renovations. And then they apply for above board rent increase. That's what my landlord is doing. And of course you have to be okay with the basement laundry as opposed to ensuite laundry. But for $500 or $600 a month savings, I think that's not a problem. At least not for me. Also, I prefer having more floor space and often a large balcony. Here's a condo that is cutting right into that rental building. And I bet they had to evict a number of tenants in that building to build that new structure. And that's another trick. And they're trying to do that to my building as well. I think if a developer wants to do that to increase the housing supply, go ahead. But they should have to pay for the existing tenants to be relocated and then give them the option to move back at the same rent they were at previously in the new units. But of course, the province doesn't see that way, or see it that way. And there is North Toronto Collegiate. And that was where I finished up the last video I did 2 years ago. But we're going to keep going until I get to Shoppers Drug Mart.
No, I just heard you. I thought I heard
Oh,
a
yeah?
noise.
And we have made it to Yonge Street. Just in time for twilight.
That's like the biggest like prank ever.
Now I have to take.
And here we go, shoppers. All right, so I'm just gonna head in and pick up some bananas. And I might take a look around at some other things. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Starting just north of Davisville Station, walking along the Beltline Trail, and then along, or rather up, through Mount Pleasant Village. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And if you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Instagram and YouTube channel membership in the description. To my Instagram and YouTube channel membership, I meant to say Patreon. I am completely out of it. Signs that I need to get some dinner. Maybe I'll hit the Chipotle after this as well. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.